Howdy, roofers, and welcome to Roofer Growth Hacks, the podcast that's dedicated to highlighting those in the roofing industry, learning how they overcame growth challenges with creative growth hacks, and connecting them with others in the roofing industry. I'm your host, Chris Hunter, founder and chief marketing officer of roofingsites.com. I'm also the author of The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. All right, this episode is a new type of episode that I am implementing each month just to keep you up to date on what's going on in marketing, because marketing does move so fast. So this is entitled the December 2025 State of Marketing for Roofers. And like I said, marketing moves at an extremely fast pace. It's one of the hardest things to keep up with. Google itself changes 600 plus times a year and has for the past 20 years. Social media, just like anything else, changes all the time. So I believe for our roofing marketing system, though, this gives you a framework of essentially anytime anything changes, right? You can change the items inside of each of the four pillars, which is reputation, reach, resell, and referral. Okay. So anytime something changes in any of those, you just simply take it out, meaning that it stops working. You take it out and you apply something that is working. Well, that's kind of what this episode's all about. All right. So the first thing that I want to talk about this year is that we're in December, y'all. It is December 2025. And by the time that this airs, it's going to be a week or two away from Christmas. So guess what? We're at the end of the year. Now, for all of y'all, I want to say, do not let up on the gas pedal. This is the time of the year to lean into your marketing and lean into your sales and try to make those end of year sales before the end of the year, right? Let's finish strong as much as we possibly can, okay? The next thing here is that since it's the end of the year, it's a perfect time to start planning for 2025. If you have never sat down and created a plan for your marketing, for your sales, for your operations, for your admin, for your HR, for your IT, for your accounting, I highly recommend that you do. All right. Those are all of the systems that are inside of your company. And I highly, highly recommend that you start the year strong with a plan. Okay. Part of that plan that I'm talking about here, that I've been talking with all of my clients on, is that marketing plan for 2025 and really creating a budget that is going to get you to where you want to go. And part of all of this type of conversation, we're going to go over in a week or two, in our workshop. I highly recommend that you jump into that. If you're listening to this, just make sure, go to our website, get signed up for my book, first of all, right? Go to go.roofingsites.com, sign up for my book that will put you on our email list, and you will get emails about our upcoming workshop, which is going to be the planning workshop. In that workshop, we're going to talk about all sorts of things, but the biggest one that I talk about right now, even with my own clients, is budgeting, making sure that you have enough gas in the tank to get where you want to go. Okay. If we were thinking of your marketing as a vehicle, and it really is, you want to make sure that you put enough gas to get where you want to go and not for where you're at right now. Okay. So if you're wanting to go from $1 to $2 million, you really should be budgeting for that $2 million mark. Okay. In your overall marketing budget for 2025. Okay. There are so many roofers that I run across that have just a minuscule budget, and yet they want to get to, let's say, from that $2 to $4 million or even higher, but yet their marketing budget reflects that they are really looking at really a $500,000 company. Okay. And they're getting a lot of their sales in through referrals, which is great. Okay. But let those sales fuel the vehicle to get you to where you want to go. I have a coach that tells me all the time, right? He tells me that what you did today is not going to get you where you want to go tomorrow. Okay. So how much should you budget? Roughly what I'm telling everybody is what the NRCA themselves recommends, which is anywhere between 5 to 10% of your overall revenue. I'm not talking about 5 to 10% of your profit, but 5 to 10% of your overall revenue. And like I said, I want to make sure that you get to where you want to go. So if you want to get to $2 million, you should have a 10% budget set aside that's reinvesting back into your company, back into your growth of your company. all right, to get you where you want to go. But make sure that you make some time in the next month to sit down and really define your goals. I recommend that you sit down with your leadership team. Okay. And your leadership team is simply made up of people who are in charge of each of the main parts of your business, which are sales, marketing, operations, admin, and HR. Okay. And by the way, you can probably integrate the sales and marketing seat, okay, into one. You can integrate the admin and HR seat into one as well. But that being said, make sure that you sit down with your leadership team and build out a plan for next year. Make sure you write down all of your goals, okay? And I like to start from the end, okay? Right? So the way that we do our goal planning for my businesses is to sit down and we determine, okay, where do we want to be in 5 to 10 years? Where do we want to be in 3 years? Where do we want to be in 1 year? And we work backwards from there. And it's not hard, but it does take a lot of thought. Okay, it does take some action as well, because you want to make sure that even if you write down your goals, you've got to actually do something to accomplish those goals. Okay, and by the way, I highly recommend that you also get into a quarterly rhythm, right? Every quarter, right? At the end of the quarter or at the beginning of the quarter, to sit down and determine how you did on this last quarter towards driving towards your goals. Okay. And sit down every quarter and create what I call rocks, not what I call rocks, but what are called rocks by Gino Wickman with Entrepreneurial Operating System. Okay. And make sure that you only have 3 to 5 of these rocks that you are trying to accomplish each and every quarter. Okay, these are big things. Okay, enough of that. Make sure you sit down, plan for 2025, budget enough, make sure that you have enough budget in there, and then make sure that you write down everything that you're going to need to do to accomplish your goals for 2025. All right, next thing that I want to talk about is AI and search. Okay, so in the past month or two, we've seen a lot of the AI tools start coming out with their own search tools. How is that going to affect the roofing industry? I don't think it's going to affect us much in the roofing industry. I think that Google is still the big dog out there. Okay. But you do have several tools that we are talking about here. We've got ChatGPT Search, we've got Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. We've even got Siri, and Apple is talking about coming out with an AI for that. So how do we ensure, right, that we're going to show up in those searches when people do a voice search, okay, or they do an AI specific search? Well, what we are seeing is that there are a couple of things that affect that. Okay, first of all, reputation is the biggest of everything. Okay, and I talk about this in the 4R, marketing system. It's your base pillar. It is, if you don't have a solid foundation of a solid reputation, you're not going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot else with your marketing that's going to work. That is especially true with AI search. So if you do not have a reputation system in place, something that is actively asking for a review after every single job, make sure that you add that as part of your plan for 2025, is to implement that right away, because you have to have a solid reputation, what we are seeing with AI, if you want to show up in those AI searches. Next is footprint. Your footprint online is massively going to affect how you show up in AI search. Okay. What do I mean by footprint? I mean by, you've got to have a great website. I mean, that's just the basis of all of your digital marketing needs. You have to have a solid website that converts. It has to load fast. It has to have terms on it that match up with the searches of people are searching for, all of those kinds of things. You got to be adding content on a regular basis to your website. Okay. And that's just kind of the basics there of this whole idea. The second part is that you must be posting on a regular basis to social media. Okay. And I'm not talking about all of your posts being promotional posts, because I see those all the time, right? What we want is educational posts, right, that are talking about things in the industry. Okay. You want to have educational posts that are talking about the things that people are searching for. Because what we are finding when we're trying to reverse engineer how people are showing up in the AI search part of Google, and I'm talking Google specifically right here, but I feel that everything else is going to follow suit to that. The way that people are showing up on search with using AI specifically, it is really being affected right now on how people are posting to social media. Okay. And if you're talking about, using a topical authority, this is a term that's kind of new in the SEO industry. Um, but if you're using a topical authority kind of methodology, you're going to be the one that's winning. Okay. And what is topical authority? Basically, there are main topics that people are searching for, right? Roofing, gutters, siding, windows, you know, those are the main topics, but there's other topics, subtopics underneath those that are mainly questions that people are already asking. Okay. Make sure that you're answering those types of questions on your website as well as in social media, because we're finding that social media is really affecting AI search specifically right now. Okay. Now, the other thing that I'm talking about on footprint is making sure that you show up on other websites, authority websites. Okay. Do you have a listing on the BBB website, the Better Business Bureau? Do you have a listing on Yelp? Do you have a listing on NRCA, local associations, regional associations, anything like that? Let's make sure that we have a listing on all of the directories that are pertinent to our industry in the roofing industry. Okay. That's what I mean by footprint, making sure that you are everywhere, you're omnipresent, okay, and that you are posting on a regular basis. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the other thing that we are noticing for that is affecting AI search beyond footprint, beyond reputation, beyond using topical authority method is making sure that you're using video in your marketing strategy. Guess what? Google is really good at figuring out intent of video. Okay. So if you are sharing video and it's getting shared out, it's getting liked, it's getting commented on, guess what's going to happen to your overall search rankings? It's going to go up. Okay. Google owns currently, right now, right? Google currently owns YouTube, right? Which, by the way, is the number two search engine in the world. So you need to develop a content strategy in 2025, I believe, using video. Now, if you combine those videos with the topical authority method, you're gonna win. Okay, and you're gonna beat your competitors on AI search. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing that I want to talk about here, right? Another main item for the state of marketing for roofers is really related to AI. And I talk about AI all the time. You know, you can use AI to automate all sorts of things. You can use it for your content strategy. You can use it for all sorts of really cool things. However, one of the things that are most underrated that I have seen is actually using AI to understand your data, right? You've got to be tracking things. You got to set up tracking for your phone calls, for people coming to your website, where people are coming from, where they're converting from, all that kind of stuff. But what happens is that you end up in a mountain of data, right, over time. And so how do you make sense of that data? Well, guess what? AI is really good at that. And so all you have to do is download your data and upload it into something like ChatGPT, right? You got to use the paid version for this, which is $20 a month. But upload it to ChatGPT and have it help you understand your data. Where are people coming from? Where are they converting from? Where and then as you're building that plan for 2025, let's double down on the things that are working for you currently. Okay. So leverage AI as much as you possibly can. That's my third main topic, right? For the December marketing, state of marketing for roofers. The last that I really want to hammer in on, and I've already talked about it here, is video strategy. you must have a video strategy in 2025. You should really, really just pull out this $1,000 machine that is sitting in your pocket and not only educate people on what's going on, right, in your business and so forth. Use that topical authority method, but I believe you have to educate, plus you have to entertain, right? Because you can educate all day long, but education by itself doesn't always sell. You've got to entertain. Okay. So entertain people by taking videos, take that $1,000 machine sitting in your pocket, take it out when you're up on a roof and show them, all of the bad things that you guys see, all of the things that you're like, oh my gosh, this is so gross, right? Or I can't believe this happened. Why would someone do this kind of a thing? Take it out, right? And take a video of that and then post that to all of your social media channels. If you keep it underneath a minute, you can post to, shorts and reels, shorts on YouTube and reels on Instagram and Facebook. All of the platforms out there, by the way, have a short form video format that they really like, and they still are rewarding you for posting on a regular basis, okay, to as shorts or reels, okay? So 2025, make sure that you have a video strategy in place, that you are consistent with it, and that you are posting on a regular basis, and that you're talking about and using the topical authority method to talk about questions that people are already asking in the industry. Okay, that's it. That will wrap it up for the December 2025 State of Marketing for Roofers. There's a ton of other things that we could possibly talk about. We will leave that for other times. We want to keep this somewhat short for the podcast, but I just want to say that the biggest thing that you could take away from this is that it's time to plan. It's time to plan for 2025. It's time to build that plan, not only a marketing plan, but operations, admin, sales. All of those plans need to be put into place in order to achieve your goals, whether it's going from 500,000 to a million or going from a million to 2 million. If you plan on doubling or tripling your company in the next couple of years, you have to build a plan in order to do that. And this is the time of year to do it. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Roofer Growth Hacks. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram or on Facebook or wherever. I'm all over the place, okay? You can also go to our website at roofingsites.com and listen to other previous episodes. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, roofingsites.com. Since 2018, roofingsites.com has helped roofers double their sales by getting their marketing right using the 4R roofing marketing system. If you're a roofing company owner wanting to grow your business, be sure to go to roofingsites.com and sign up for a roofing marketing strategy with me. Also, this past year, I published my book, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you're a roofing company owner and you don't have that book in your hands, I will send it to you for free. Just go to go.roofingsites.com and I'll send you a free copy of my book. Well, roofers, join me next time when we connect with another great roofing entrepreneur and learn how they hack their growth. Until then, I'm Chris Hunter. Thanks and gig 'em.